Elevated TV Radio. Stay tuned.
TV Radio. Unifying broadcasting. Listen.
All right, good morning and welcome to the Sports Buffet on Elevated TV Radio. My name is Daffy Matthew. So you love to come with the Elevated One Sports. It's another lovely Thursday morning. It's time for us to have fun. For the next hour, we would be here talking about sports and everything about life. Okay, you can send in your question on if you're streaming with us on Instagram. You can join us there. You can also be part of the YouTube channel, Elevated TV Sports. If you're listening online on www.elevatortv.com/radio. You can send in your messages on the WhatsApp number 070-2500-0069. 2500-0069. 070-2500-0069. That's the number to send in your messages on WhatsApp. Okay, so you can also send it, comment on the Instagram live as well as the YouTube live. Okay. And special shout out to someone that I met in Port Harcourt over the weekend, Onakosi, works with Nigeria Info. Fantastic guy. People hardly make good impression on me on first time meeting them, but this guy made a very, very fantastic impression on me. He was dressed bespoke. It was, those guys at Nigeria Info does really know how to carry themselves, so massive shout out to him. And the video, the first episode of the journey is out. Okay, first episode is out featuring Coach Ayere Sylvester. If you've watched it, if you've seen it, please do us the favor of dropping a comment about what you've seen. I mean, it will help us engage via the comment section. A lot of people watch YouTube and don't get involved, even when you watch content that inspires you, that makes you better. I think the only way you can tell the person who is making that content, one of the things that people don't understand with content creator is when people don't engage, you're practically killing the creative mind of that content creator, because to him, it feels like because you don't engage means that you don't like it. And sometimes it's tough, okay? It's tough when that's the most expensive content that we've created. It's 20 minutes. When you see it, it's 20 minutes, but that's like 5.2 million naira compressed into 20 minutes. So imagine you're putting such a content out and nobody's engaging it. You're like, okay, so what more do I need to do? And then you're not pander towards the people who tell you every day, oh, your channel will grow if you put some naked girls on the. Come on, that's not who I am. What would my family say? My immediate family and then my extended family, what would they say? Like, is this a guy with wrist or madness have taken over his head? But then when you guys don't engage, that's what you are encouraging actually, that, okay, maybe this is what the people want. And you know how they say, don't produce content for yourself or produce for the market. But I don't want to have a market that pander towards the wrong content, okay? So when we put these contents together and you engage it by viewing it, do us the favor of just dropping a comment about it, okay? So when I say comment, I'm not meaning to say nice one, good job, those kind of things, no. Just engage the content by really telling us what that content meant to you when you saw it, how it's good or it's bad, how it inspired you or how it motivated you or how it got you disgusted or depressed or annoyed. Just engage, because what it does is that engagement helps us to really creatively shape our content to favor the audience. But at the same time, don't tell us to do, because too many people slide into our DM to say, I think if you do all those big yash and big breast content, you would have a lot of subscribers and a lot of views, and then maybe later you will change. Don't encourage me to do that. I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry, because it doesn't represent who I am and what this brand represent. So let's focus on the things that we know we can do. The channel is Elevated TV Sports, not Elevated TV pole dancer, street dancer, or strip club. Okay, so we should always understand that. And, trying to make somebody feel like doing the wrong thing is the only way to be successful, you're practically saying that there are no good people out there who can do right. So that's something that we should all know. Okay, well, having said that, let's get in on the conversation. You know how it is on Thursday. It's no holds back. Everything goes. Everything is allowed. Bring questions from everywhere. We will treat it as best as we can collectively together. So if somebody puts a comment out there that you have something to contribute to it, don't hold back. Drop your comment on it, because this is a community radio. This is a radio for the community online, and we love to get everybody participating. That's what makes it good. But while you're there, please, if you've not subscribed to Legota TV Sports on YouTube, please don't want to subscribe to our YouTube channel and help us to grow as best as we can, because your subscription and your comments and your views fuels our energy to keep investing and keep going, because we think that one day we'll hit El Dorado, because that's the only way we can keep pushing. Excellence, they say, is not a destination but a journey. So we're on this journey of excellence, trying. If you look at content, go back to when we started in 2017 and where we are right now, you see how we've evolved, and we're still evolving. We'll still keep evolving. We can't stop. We just want to get better. We just want to be your favorite online YouTube channel and online radio. That's just what we want to be. That's the prayer, what we want to be, and we do hope that we're able to achieve it in the long run. We're not there yet. We're not your favorite. We're not your number one yet. We know that a lot of channels also have your attention, but we want to be your number one. There's going to be other numbers, but there's going to be other channels, but we're going to be your number one. That's the stride we are on. So we are very, very, maybe at number 7 billion, but we're going to climb up the ladder gradually. So that said, let's start with the Instagram channel, position, and see what you guys say. Hey, Yami, how you doing? I still feel like I should have seen you in Port Harcourt. Amadou, we say good morning, boss. Taiwan. Thank you very much. Good morning, Amadou. Let's still say good morning, boss. Good morning to you. And then from there, we move down to, hey, Monte, you're here. How are you? It's my little nephew. My handsome nephew. That boy is big. Like very, very big. Keep looking at his picture all the time. I am Kenzo28. Says, one question, please. When will Africa officials stop the bias against teams playing host nations in football? There was no bias, so I don't know if you think it's the Nigeria-Morocco game. There was no bias. There was no bias officiating. You are allowing your emotion to work here. There's no bias in that officiating at all. I'm not going to agree with you that there's bias, but you are entitled to your opinion. The 2 red cards were justified red card. There was a stump on the Nigerian player. Did he go back to view it? Yes, you can say that, but that doesn't represent bias. So when you say officiating is bias, you have to go to the first call. The 2 red card that was given, the first call of the referee was clear that there was no bias. But when the VAR people call the attention of the referee to go back and watch, obviously when you see those two stump on the ankles under the leg, that's a red card offense. There's nothing you can do about that one. And then it's a dangerous place, okay? But the stump on the Nigerian player is on the front of the foot, okay? So it's a little bit worst case scenario, that would have been a yellow card, not necessarily a red card. So if you say bias, there's no bias. You know, Morocco deserved their win, even though the Falcons put up a fight that was beautiful. He said, when will CAF address the use of lasers in stadium in North Africa, or is North Africa bigger than CAF? It's not about CAF. So it happens everywhere. Don't make it a CAF thing. I said it yesterday. Don't make it a CAF thing. CAF is not going to address something that is all over the world. CAF has also sanctioned a lot of clubs and countries that use that. Okay, when it was used against Senegal, CAF sanctioned Egypt. So we were not going to say anybody is bigger than CAF. I was still speaking, some of us are still speaking from a place of anger and frustration that the Falcons were beaten in the semifinals. But laser is not a CAF or an African thing. I mean, it happens in Europe, everywhere. Let's remember Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid. You know, you can go on and on. It happens everywhere. Liverpool, Real Madrid, they also happen. So let's not even make it look like it's a CAF thing. It's just football fans would always be crazy all over the world. It's a universal thing. What I don't like is when we bring the dirty part of football and make it an African thing, that this thing only happens in Africa. That's what I don't like. Will it be addressed? Yes, they are already addressing it. They will keep addressing it. That's just it, the basic. But you see, the thing about life is musers would always go to stadium. once a thing is in the open market, by open market I mean it is when you have money, you go to stadium, then people will do anything. Passion makes people do stupid things. Passion is like falling in love. It makes you deaf to reasoning and open to stupidity. Okay, so football is the fuel, the energy that fuels football is passion. The passion of the fans, the passion of the players, the passion of the investors, and everything. So passion makes people do stupid things. What we need to do is to show a little bit of understanding, why calling for caution, why calling for it to be addressed. But what I don't accept is making it an African time, making it look like, it's not only Africa that once something happened negatively in football, we make it look like it's African thing. When the Euros were held, we saw lasers everywhere. The finals of the Euro was disgusting in terms of how the English fans behaved. But you guys didn't really take it serious, didn't talk about it. You pretended like it didn't happen. The UEFA Champions League, just now, we saw how terrible the organization was. If that was a calf team, oh, blood of God, the heavens would have been ripped apart and God would be hanging onto a parachute now to stay up there. Oh, but hey, because it happened in your favorite never do wrong Europe, we will quickly move over it and forget. 2 seasons ago, if I'm not mistaken, or is it last season, a match at Old Trafford was cancelled because of fans who were protesting. A match that is on the fixture, Manchester United versus Liverpool. Nobody said a word about it. Everybody pretended like, oh, it doesn't matter. But that was a very wrong thing. If that was Canopilla Stadium that happened, everybody would run down the air. They would rain hell on everybody and say, oh, Nigeria, we don't know what we're doing. Just last season, the British government interfered with football and stole a man's property. And they claimed that because he's a friend of Vladimir Putin, they robbed him. Roman Abramovich. Everybody pretended like it is okay. But then when, what was it called? When America invaded Iraq for weapon of mass destruction, no friend of Bush was attacked. You people kept quiet about it. So, see, listen, things go wrong everywhere in the world. And what I hate and what I would not stand with is when it happens in Africa, everybody now find a voice. Everybody now become an activist. Everybody now know how to give opinion. I don't think that's right. See, if you like, you run away from Nigeria and go to Europe. Guess what? Or from Africa and go to Europe. Guess what? You are still an African. Your primary focus, your heartbeat, will still beat more for Africa than anywhere. So it is high time we start understanding that we cannot at any given time, we cannot at any time make negativity about Africa and make excellence about Europe and America. It's not going to happen. Let me give you some narrative that you people have not bothered to ask. When any team wins the NBA, they say it's the world champion. How is the champion of a league that is in one country, at best just one team from Canada joined them, Toronto Raptors, and they say is the world champion? How is it world champion? I don't understand that. Are they competing basketball against all the other basketball countries in the world? That's one. When you win the Stanley Cup, ice hockey, they say it's World Series. How is it World Series? All of the teams that play are Canada and US. Wow, how is it World Series? But they say it's World Series. Super Bowl, again, it's NFL, it's one country, but then they make it look like it's a global thing. It's a narrative. And try and understand that the people who sell their things market it in such a way that you almost are convinced that is a global thing for them when they want to put the good out. So when it goes bad, they hide it, they shut it down, they cover it up and make sure you don't get to feel it that much because they are protecting the products that they are selling. But over here, we downplay the good. So the average African or Nigerian, if you do 10 things and 9 were done with excellence, we pretend like we didn't see it. Then just one mistake out of the 10, everybody will now spotlight it, highlight it. Say you're writing a letter or you're making a post, and you just make a mistake. Maybe say where you wrote WHERE, or you autocorrect WHERE where you were supposed to put WERE. Everybody would start using that one as savage. That's who we are. We should learn to stop, because in other words, that's your own laser that you're pointing at people where you shouldn't point it. So we can't condemn the things that we have just because we want to sound and feel like, oh, we're good. That's something that's very, very serious. But let me go back to comment again. All the comments on YouTube are coming for you guys, but I just needed to address this thing on Instagram so that people don't make it look like we're the only people that are doing it. Okay. I am Kenzo28 said, noted boss. My very good friend and brother, who I've learned a whole lot from in the place of arguing about sports. Yomiti say, good morning, bros. Your Port Harcourt trip this time was strictly confidential and time was not there. So maybe when you come back and you have enough time. Okay, when I'm coming back again, I'm supposed to even come back again on Wednesday, but on Wednesday the 26th, which is next week, because the governor is hosting the winning team on Thursday the 27th. But I don't know if I can yet because it seems like I already promised my kids that on the 27th I was going to take them to the park and all that. I don't know. I'll find a way around it, but whatever it is, my children come first. So I already know that I'm going to choose them over unless I can rationalize it with them, reason with them, and then maybe they agree. If they agree, especially my daughter, that one is the boss. That one tells her that, we're going to have our own and we'll have to decide. So if I'm coming again, I'll let you know. But beyond that, I'm going to come and spend between 6 to 8 weeks in Port Harcourt. So I think you'll have me. You'll have me over there. But I just want all the paperwork sorted out before I jump on a plane with my crew and come. I'm going to, I'm practically moving the office for a period of time to Port Harcourt. I'm moving the office to Port Harcourt, and we will definitely see. You will know where my office is. It's going to be a hotel room, but that's the office. Anywhere the American president is, that is the White House, according to the law. So you would see me. I am Kezo. Say what happened in UEFA Champions League final is at Bismarck, I must admit. Okay, good. Thank you. So Yamiti say I'm watching England versus Spain yesterday, and seriously, I'm just thinking how they have evolved in a short period of time and the standard of play, which I hate to compare with our own here in Africa. But that's what is happening in Africa, and people are getting angry. The thing is, collective development would always move faster than individual development. So what we've had in Africa over the long period of time is individual development, which is the players go develop themselves, and it was only Nigeria that really had it. Now, Morocco is building facility and growing their own. South Africa is building facility and growing their own. And we're not happy anymore. We're getting angry that they are catching up with us. We're still feeling entitled. We should be winning. If we don't win, then there's a problem. People should be fired. People should be sacked. We go dirty. Okay. Thursday is 28, which is even my birthday. Okay, so I don't know. I'm not guaranteed you that I'm coming, but happy birthday in advance in the first place. So we'll see how that goes eventually if I'm going to come. But we would talk before then as to be on the show. We still have a few more shows to do. Okay, so let me go to YouTube and see what you guys are saying there. Will I be happy? He said, good morning, bros. How was your night? My night was beautiful, was nice. He said, I have a question. I want to know why Nigerian League reply match can't be watched on YouTube so we can know our team. Okay, so the best response I'll give to this is this question is supposed to be directed to Sheudiko, but I am not going to hold brief for LMC or MPFL. This is what I'm going to do. The last 5 years, what I have been doing is to set up myself strategically to be in a place where I can be part of the people that makes this possible. Now, I'm going to be, I'm trying to start off something very, very small with a Rivers United, for instance, and then hope that it would grow into a lot of the others, okay? But as I'm talking to you right now, nothing is signed, nothing is agreed yet. The preliminary conversations are beautiful. Another thing you need to know is, I think it's replay that you're talking about. Another thing you need to know is that our stadiums are not built with television in mind. So, and our clubs have not also set themselves up to be able to produce their games by themselves so that they can transmit to the LMC portal, which can now be broadcast across streaming platform and across every other broadcast channel. So that's one problem. Ordinarily, for a season, the minimal cost to broadcast the Nigerian League, all 380 games, is 5.7 billion naira. I've done that mathematics and worked it out. I'm in this job, so I've worked out all those numbers. Just the broadcasting, that's the minimum, like the barest minimum, the lowest number is 5.7 billion across a season. Now there is nobody who have that money. There's no sponsor who's going to give you that money. That's for one season, mind you. There's no sponsor who's going to give you that money. So the struggle have always been to just run the league, to pay for referees across an entire season is between 380 to 450 million naira to pay for just referees. So you now add logistics and the rest. Plus or minus, it takes 11 billion naira to execute an MPFS season, all things being equal. That is, if there's TV, there's broadcast for all matches and the rest. We've not been able to reach that. Not because people don't have the idea or don't know how to do it, but economically, we don't have the money. And by the word we, I'm not part of the LMC, but I'm just saying that Nigeria, we don't have the money. And this is the basic reason. The budget, I keep saying this every time so that you guys know, the budget for the National Youth and Sports Ministry is shared in this formula. 98% of that budget goes to the National Youth Service Corps, which otherwise known as the NYSC. The other 20% is what we use for football. Now, but those football is not, the league is not included, it's national. Then there are no sponsors around the country who can do that. So what I have, suggested to some of the club is there is no sponsor that will give you money. So let me go back to one of my pitching notes. Bear me. Okay. Okay, 2022. I'm making a mistake, sorry. I'm searching for a document that I put together recently. So let me give you these numbers so that you understand how these work. Okay. So let me read out a bit of the numbers for you guys to see. Nigeria advertising industry is geared up for the groundbreaking possibilities of 2022 as they anticipate a whopping increase in digital advertising budget coupled with an acceleration in digital penetration and innovation. Okay, in his submission, Managing Director, Starcom Media Perspective, Jude Odia, okay, is optimistic that this year there will be a growth in the market as well, a proliferation of platforms, especially microsites and blogs. He noted, I hope to see the budget shift to digital and more potential in our overall media spend. I also hope to see an exponential growth of content, and that will be a drive for mobile and the kind of growth we also hope to see in the digital media space. Digital will fundamentally be the primary beneficiary of that growth because it will grow more at the expense of the traditional media. Now, fortunately, 2022 is ushering in positive expectation for the ad world as advertising across all digital channels have been projected to excess 60% of global ad spend for the first time in this year, reaching 61.5% of total expenditure, according to the market report from Publicis Group media agencies. WPP's group also predicted an additional 13.5 growth in 2022. Now, this read tells you that all of the spending, majority, like, okay, say 65% of spending in advertising will go to digital platform. But then look at the Nigerian clubs that you have, from Enyimba to relegated Kano Pillars, MFM, and the rest of them. How active are they on the digital space? What is their number on the digital space? How much money can they extract from the digital space? Like, okay, is there any club in the Nigerian league that have 1 million followers, 1 million subscribers on their YouTube channel, 1 million followers on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook? The answer is no. And because they don't have all of these numbers, nobody's going to give them money, because see, money follows numbers. I have 10,000 subscribers. Nobody's going to give me one big $20 million right now for ad spend, because that number does not match up the money that I'm looking for. But once I get, say, let's say I have 10 million. If I have 10 million subscribers, I'm not even going to do anything. If I mess here, people will pay $1 million for it. If I cough, people will pay money. You know why? Because of that number. They're not paying me the money because my content is beautiful. They're paying me the money because my content would access 10 million, 20 million people. That's why Logan, is it Jake Paul Logan also, the Logan guy, was able to get fight with some of the best people in the industry, even though he's not a professional boxer. But he's got 20 million subscribers on his YouTube channel. The same way WWE, or is it WWF, I've also signed a contract with him to be in the wrestling match, in the ring, because of his numbers. So what our clubs have not learned to do over a long period of time, digital media didn't start today. We are latecomers, and we are always latecomers to the industry. I remember in 2008 when I started talking about digital media, the use of digital media, I was shut down even by the most educated people in media space. I was shut down. I was told when I was using from 2014, when I started using selfie stick and a mobile phone to record my show, people used to say I was showing myself. My colleagues used to say he's showing himself, he's being foolish, he's begging for attention. He's starved of attention and he's begging for attention. But they didn't understand. Digital media is something that I started in the rest of the world 20 years ago. But we're just discovering it in this part of the world. So one of the ways that you can get that, the question you ask, one of the ways that you can get it is if we all collectively explore that digital rise. Will I be happy? Is if we all explore it, and then fans of this club also get connected. So we just put out the content yesterday, which cost us about 5.2 million naira to put together in the course of the last 2 years from 2000 to now. And guess what? We're not hitting the numbers that you would expect such a beautiful content to hit. And then you sit back and tell yourself, why invest this much money? How do you not convince a Rivers United or Imba or NFF even to say, put up content on the digital space when you put 5 million plus to put a content and you're not even getting 1,000 views? People are not bouncing on it because it doesn't provide or provoke sexual urge or the rest. So those are also some of the things that these people consider. Because when you go and do presentation to this club officials, they tell you how many years it would take for us to get this number where you talk. And then you start saying, I don't know. You can't pitch and tell somebody I don't know. If you're a business person, you know that. You can't tell somebody I don't know, because I don't know means you are pitching rubbish. You're just coming looking for how to extract money from us. But if you can give them a timeline and say, listen, if we start this thing in 5 years' time, you will have 10 million subscribers on your YouTube channel, then they will be interested in it. But unfortunately, there's nobody in Nigeria who can guarantee that. Maybe you're Davido or your Whiskey or your Bonamo. If you're not on that league, forget about it. Johnny Gaffar says, I saw a good Twitter thread from a Niger journalist of how some years ago, England women's team was mainly made of semi-amateur players. Super Falcons beat them 3-0 in London. Yes, that's true. Johnny Gaffar, you know that somehow English football have evolved in the last 10 years. English football have evolved, their coaching, they've changed their football without even making noise about it. That's why they were at the semi-finals of the World Cup. That's why they played in the finals of the Euros. That's why they're under 17 won the World Cup in 2017 with Foden and the rest of them. That's why they're under 20s. I think got to the semi-finals or finals of the World Cup. There is a reason why. They started making that shift in 2010. And between that time and now, when they hosted the Olympics in 2012, they started a systemic development of their sports. Athletes, coaches, medicals, everything. That's some things that we need to look at. But hey, a country that doesn't budget anything for sports, infrastructure and development, and holding on to decaying infrastructure without thinking of, okay, let's turn this into a commercial venture, let's lease it out to somebody for 100 years or 200 years while we make money out of it. It's a country that is not ready yet. Until we're ready to do that, my brother, my sisters, we're just gonna be jumping around and hoping for miracles to happen. Johnny Gaffer say, since then, England women put together a proper league and have developed into one of the best women's team in the world. On contrast, what do we think of the development of the Falcons? Nothing. Okay, Abaya Mishagu says, good morning, Elevator. Please, what's the way forward on Ronaldo's future? Is it that he is no longer a top player anymore? Because big club seems not to want his service or bid for him. So Cristiano Ronaldo damaged his brand because he is both a liability and an asset. Cristiano Ronaldo will force you to change the way your team plays. And in having Cristiano Ronaldo in your team, you will focus more on Cristiano Ronaldo than the team. Most of the clubs that could afford to pay his salaries are clubs that focus on team ahead of the individual. Bayern Munich, for instance. Bayern Munich will never make a player the center focus of their build. Okay? They make the team. So each player is a component that represents a particular mission. Okay? They won under 20 World Cup. And Lukman was part of that. Thank you very much, Tony JC, for that correction. I appreciate it. You know, so same with Chelsea. Chelsea is building a team that cannot have a Ronaldo right now in that team because they're young players who are not on his level. He will just come and, you know, what happened at Manchester United and Juventus. These guys have their analytics people who watch these teams and see what is right and what is wrong. And they say to themselves, you know, we can't have this in our team. And when Cristiano Ronaldo leaves or goes to a team, the team stifles and begin to go down. So nobody wants to put themselves in that position. That's why Cristiano Ronaldo is going through what he's going. But he is still Cristiano Ronaldo. He's the commercial player that he still is. So some club will say, you know what, forget about it. We want this guy. We want the numbers that he brings, the social media numbers that he brings, the commercial numbers that he brings. If he's going to stifle us, let him come and stifle us for the next 2 seasons, and we'll see. So there's a possibility that at the start of the next season, you will see him playing for Atletico Madrid or playing for one club here and there. But if he doesn't do that, there's still the MLS for him. He can go the Zlatan Ibrahimovic way. He can go to MLS and then come back again to Europe when he's 40. He can also decide to go to Saudi Arabia and earn some good money and go and play with Jude Gallo there. There's a whole lot of gamut of opportunities that is still available to him. But the mainstream Europe, you know, mainstream Europe football is like secret court. Okay, once 2 or 3 people just, you know, blacklist you, my brother, you're on your own. Now everybody knows that having Cristiano Ronaldo is like having a little bit of a problem to your team, and that's the reason why he's struggling to get a club that will bid for him. Johnny Gaffa, I say I know we usually win the AFCON, but on the world stage, where do we rank? Where do you rank us? On the world stage, I put us in the top 10, top 15, but we're not like the powerhouse. You know why? Because, listen, when you don't develop your talent, no matter how good you are, when you don't develop your talent in sports and you don't develop your infrastructure and you also don't develop your coaches, you will eventually get off the leading position. So we have stunted the development of our coaches over the years. We have only 600, for instance, 60 or so CAF A licensed coaches. So it's just a clique of same old people who cannot be removed from their position. And then a whole lot of other things. Hailings from London. Yes, you are right. England have done a lot of grassroots work with coaches to change the way they play and move away from the kick and follow style. And it is paying dividend. They actually win the Under-20 World Cup as well as the Under-17. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, you didn't mention your name. I wish you did. That's Iko J. Okay, the picture that I see there, I can't recognize him, but thank you very much, bros, for educating me on the under-20s and also talking about the coaching. And let's be very honest here. There is not a country in football that will make progress if they don't develop their coaches. There is not a country. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there is not a country in world football that will make progress if they don't develop their coaches. For as long as maybe you have the good players, if you don't have coaches, this talent will be good, but they need somebody that will mold. It's like a basket, okay? You have all the tools, but if you don't wrap them and weave them well and put them in the right place, my brother, my sisters, you will just be that. You know how, when we're growing up, I don't know if it is you guys, it's Iko J from London. Thank you very much, boss. When we're growing up, so there's this thing they used to say. Now, travel with me on this tour too. I don't know if it happens in your area, but I grew up in Warrior and Port Harcourt. So there's this thing they used to say when a man is walking, you see that he's walking, full of energy, walking. But there's always this nearly. You almost get this thing done. You almost bought a car. You almost built a house. Something just doesn't work. They will not say I'm rich. But as I've grown, I've looked at all of that. And we have our own fair share of failings. And I'm dealing with some of that too myself. But you now realize that back in the day, a lot of people were not open to being dynamic. They were stuck in their ways. And they don't take suggestions. So let me use this YouTube channel. When I started, I didn't like, okay, just do your content, record it, and put it there. And some guys reached out to me and said, why are you not doing YouTube live? I said, I tried it. And most times it was just 2 or 3 people. And you can't be doing a live show on radio and you're looking at your numbers, only 2 people viewing. That just kill you. So it's better not to know than know. But the guy said to me, he said, listen, it is 2 that will turn into 1,000. So your job is to keep showing up and then people will love it. He said, but what you're doing right now, you are acting like you are entitled to people viewing you. So people should just assemble by 9 o'clock and be viewing you. Have you known any church that started with 1,000 members? Most churches started with 5, 3, 4, 10 people at most, but then it grew. So do your business like that. Find consistency. Don't think of the end just at the beginning, unless you're God. And I took that to heart. And, I started doing live stream. And I've seen the numbers grow 20, 25, 30, 100 and something while on my show. When I signed up at the end of the show, you see that 120 people have just viewed. I'm like, wow. That's a good numbers. So we have to be dynamic in the way we develop football. And in more ways than one, we also keep shouting government ownership of clubs is killing the clubs. But I've done this analysis to a lot of people. I say, no, government ownership is not actually killing the clubs. What is killing the club is private individuals who do not have an understanding of what football is, just showing up and thinking that it's a political party. It's an Owambe party. So let me give you some names. Giwa, Nembe City, Udoji United, Iwanyahu National, Gabros, Jasper, Abiola Babes, Concord FC, Ikorodu United. Now we have the Lekki Wanting, Lekki United or Lekki FC, and then we have the Lagos, something Lagos, Sporting Lagos, and all of this. And then you now have Remo Stars. Remo Stars is the only team that have a semblance of what a professional football club should be like. The private people don't even understand that. First, as an individual, you cannot run a football club in Nigeria. As an individual. Once you hit that 1 billion naira mark and you're not getting returns, you get fed up. No matter how rich you are, 1 billion invested, nothing is coming out. You get fed up. So what you need is collaboration. So let's say 10 people come together to set up a club, obviously with equal ownership and equal investment. Instead of one person putting in 1 billion in 5 years of sale period, because that's the debt period of a Nigerian private owned club. 5 years. After 5 years, they will die. Remo will not be like that because the man have gone the right way. He's invested in Portugal. He takes his player here. He knows where he's taking them to. The money that comes from transfer, obviously building and keep him going. So it's a proper conveyor belt of production and production market, receivers and growers. Okay, but almost all the others don't do that. And in an economy like Nigeria that is as volatile as a volcano, you need collaboration. And somebody said, well, do you do that in your business? Because my business is different. It's not football. Okay. So a lot of people, nobody will want to invest in this business right now until they see the returns and it's close to come. I'm sitting here and I know that I keep telling my wife every day that once people start seeing the number, like, okay, I start having the kind of number that Arsenal Fan TV have or that Fabrizio Romano have, you will see people calling my phone. Hey, I want to invest in this your company. Are you open to partnership? Are you open to? I know that already, so it's not something to worry about. But Nigerian football, we need that collaborative thing. Another thing again, you should understand with the average Nigerian, Nigerians like to go solo a lot. Okay, so Nigerians believe that instead of me and you to share a million naira, make only me go fight for the million naira. Even if I end up getting only 100,000 naira, I prefer it because it's my glory. But forgetting that if me and you partner, and we hit a million naira, I will take 500,000, you will take 500,000. It's still way more than the 100,000. But no, we were not like that. We were also not raised like that. Look at the Italians. Italians are raised with the family orientation. You have to keep it in the family. The Jewish people, the Arab people, the Indians, you have to keep it in the family. You have to create a community. That's why if you go to any place, you see India, and they are very quick to build a community. Jewish people, Arab people, Chinese people. It's only when you see Nigerian people abroad that they are all trying to witch hunt each other. They're trying to hide truth, fact from each other, and they are the ones who report themselves a lot to immigration, even in Dubai. So that happened in Dubai. It's like, okay, this is who we are. So we collectively, if we engage the power, because we have the numbers, if we engage the power of collective building, why not? Our sport will grow like mad. But hey, we don't do that. And our government is not even interested in the role that they need to play, like putting out the right legislation, putting out the right support and infrastructure. We're not ready for that one. So it's going to take us some time to really hit that kind of mark. Don't be surprised seeing other countries develop. Morocco getting to the finals of the African Women's Cup of Nations does not surprise me. If a country that built a facility like the Mohammed VI sports center or football center does not show proof of that investment, and I worry, I would be surprised. We overrate our talent too much. And over the years, what we just do is depend on other countries that are helping to build our talent, and we think, oh, override. Well, we can't always do that. We can always do that. Because at the end of the day, prayers don't work that way. We can speak in tongue and do all the prayers in the dressing room. When we get on the field, Mother Luck will smile on that country that have really invested. My mom used to say it this way. My mom says life is like the soap and the leaf that they used to wrap it. If that leaf stay with the soap long enough, the leaf will begin to produce leather or foam. That's what we know how to call it. Foam, just like the soap. So if we steep ourselves long enough in producing, working the right system, we will produce what bitters. That's not nothing special about it. After all, Assistant Toshola that struggles to play in the Falcons plays for Barcelona, and she's a Pichichi winner. It doesn't surprise you, because those people invested enough. So anybody that comes into the system just click. But when you come to this place where the investment is not right, even more that the universe is against us. I mean, it's not surprising that we didn't qualify for the World Cup. We were failing in all places. We didn't qualify for Olympics, football, male and female. You know, there should be something that tells you something is wrong. Even the basketball that we qualify, we find a way to sabotage ourselves. So it's a long ask anyway, my brother. It's a very, very long ask. But hey, when Nigeria will always believe that God is special. There are two gods. There is a Nigerian God, and then there is the God of the other universe. But let's just keep ourselves to Nigerians. God have a doppelganger. You know, like there's a special God for Nigeria, and there is the other God that takes care of the rest of the world. But we'll see. Johnny Gafai say, I know we usually win. Okay, no, we'll pass there. German Valentine, he said Nigeria versus Morocco, the ref overlooked so many handball in our 18. I think the ref helped us a lot, but people don't see that. As for Rashida, I think we need that girl in in Super Eagles. That girl a machine. All right, I understand the joke there, the pun there. Obviously, pun is really intended. DJ Allow for my second money, basket money to you. Well done for your great job. Thank you very much. Olarawaja Abdul, see money, economy situation of the country does not make it easy in Nigeria. I hope our league will get there someday. It would. But it needs a collective bargain. You need a collective contribution. What we're doing is expecting that the LMC would every year go raise 11 billion or 11 to 15 billion and give us a world-class league. It's not possible. There's no sponsor that will give LMC 11 billion. Let's see, it's real. Let's not deceive ourselves. It's like I come here today and I announce to you that Motorola or Siemens or Nike or Adidas have signed a 50 million pounds deal with me. You guys will be surprised, like, no, that's not possible. Not like you're not wishing me well or you're not happy for me, but the question will be something is not right. It's not adding up. That's the same thing with the LMC. The LMC comes out and announces this type of deal. I will not believe it because it will be prank, because they've not earned the right to be giving that kind of thing. But if all the 20 clubs in the league, for instance, let's just say each club have 2 million subscribers on their YouTube channel, 2 million followers across social medias. Okay, each one. Multiply that by 20, that's 40 million. If the LMC wants to go and market, the LMC will be marketing the fact that we have 40 million already made market, 40 million people in our market network to buy into any product you are going to put on the league. So come invest in the league and reach out to that number of people. But right now, we don't have that. So what's the LFC going to market? Nothing. There's no product. So we just want to consume. Well, as a matter of fact, our league now 419. We want to take the things that we've not invested in. It's not right. So when people go out there, blame the LMC, blame the NFF, I just look at them. Most of you that follow the EPL, are you following the EPL or you're following Arsenal, Man U, Chelsea, Liverpool, and the rest of the clubs? So imagine if the EPL does not have that numbers from the clubs, and then the players, the individual players are coming to the league. You think the EPL will make the kind of money that is it not the same football that I play in England that I play in Greece? How come Greece are not having the kind of sponsorship that the EPL is having? It's about numbers. This is the era where we are in. It's all about numbers. So if you cannot cook up your numbers, and I'm not mean cook up, not in the context of fake numbers. So if you cannot grow your numbers generically, promote through by creating content that attracts your people, my brother, you're not going to see the money, or probably you see the money, but you're not going to eat out. Because let's be very, very serious here. People like Mr. Macaroni, people like Sabinus, who in March here, got 60 million plus from his content, something huge. Ask yourself, is it not in this same Nigeria economy that they are? But they've worked very hard, they push themselves to build this content. If individuals can do that, and then the musicians can do that, why are our clubs not doing that? Because listen, each club have between 25 to 30 players. Even if you build the brand around 10 of your players, eventually it will grow, it will explode, and then there's a lot of ideas to put out there. Just pay the right people, let them do it long term. But unfortunately, that's where we'll find ourselves. So we just have to, endure it and hope that one day some group of people, like it happened in the EPL between 1990 to 1992, where some group of people got tired of hooliganism in English football, bad pitches, bad stadium, and they came in and they changed it to the EPL that we now love. And within a 10 years period, they evolved the stadium structure. Remember that almost every stadium in football used to be very open, sun and rain, everything will beat you. Now almost every stadium is closed, have a roof, and the design is different. They made it television friendly, they design everything that is nice. One day we will get there. We'll definitely get there. Okay, it took some countries 100 years plus, it took some countries 50 years, it took some countries, but we will definitely get there. Because another thing you need to look at, and in my research across Nigeria, do you know that some of these things that we're asking for, we do not have people, competent people who have trained themselves, who have positioned themselves strategically. If that wind of change comes, that will take over in terms of content creation, content production, and driving the vehicle of making sure that the football is where it should be. We don't have that. We don't. That's another thing we need to consider. Ke Udofia said, morning, bros. Good morning to you. Nigerian football is suffering an institutional crisis, one that can only be addressed through the system. Fix the system, fix the orientation of all involved there, and then we'll go past it. Thank you very much for that contribution. I agree with you 100%. Olarawaji Abdul, he said, yeah, but okay, I've read that one. Additionally, for myself, the Nigerian football business can have the change to grow if Nigerian economy grows. Olushaye Ogundola says, we thought talent is enough with the Falcons. How we go better? Okay, will I be happy? What the situation of Kelechi Iheanacho cause? I don't know why it seems he is stuck in a team that is not ready to improve or improve his game. The question you should ask yourself when you talk about Kelechi Iheanacho, does Kelechi Iheanacho see his game as something that needs to be improved? That's one. Does Kelechi Iheanacho believe that where he is bad, or you're the one that is just swallowing paracetamol for another man's headache? Because listen, a person that does not think that he's in a bad state, no amount of gospel you preach to the person does not see anything wrong with where they are not going to improve. Olushaye Ogundola says, I hope we learn. If South Africa has the talent we had, with the way they are running their football, they will be making a significant at the World Cup. Okay, Ibrahim Abubakar, he said the league will become a soap. Thank you very much for that one, for understanding my mother's parable. Okay, let me touch base with some of the transfer stories, the G's, the rumors. There are a whole lot. People are still struggling with Frenkie de Jong. Frenkie de Jong, this is the first time where I've seen that two clubs have agreed, but the player is saying, I'm not going anywhere. We ain't going nowhere. We can't even stop now. Cause we's bad boy for life. That's exactly the song that is playing. Stephen Kose, good morning. Good morning, bros. Milan postponed meeting for sports star Jafet Tanganga. Okay, Milan are keen on making a summer transfer for Tottenham Hotspur defender Jafet Tanganga, but they are yet to close a distance between them and Spurs asking price. Lazio on the brink of signing Matthias Vicinio. Okay, Hellas Verona block Darko Lazovic moved to Marseille. Serie side Lazio offered chance to sign former Real Madrid star Marcelo. Okay, and Roma said to have option to increase Paulo Dybala release clause because the clause that says if you bring 17 million, you can have him. Does look to me like a childish clause. What kind of clause is that? They sign a player for free and then you put a clause of 17 million. Is Roma that bad? Is Roma, that bad? They can't put the proper clause. I mean, I think you should benefit from a player that you signed. Everton are humiliated, losing 4-0 to MLS side Minnesota United, with Dele Alli topping the embarrassment off with a shocking open goal miss, and Frank Lampard warning of another relegation fight. I said this thing before, and I'm going to say it again. No, that's not what I wanted to say. What I'm saying, this miss is worse than Yakubu Ayugbeni. You should go and watch that thing on Daily Mail. It's up there. This miss, hey, Dele Alli, you do this one. Hey, Yakubu, finally you have been forgiven. Dele Alli, The funny thing is the two of them are Nigerians. Okay, so I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. English coaches, you can't find them at the top of the league. It's the bottom. So Frank Lampard, all those people say you will prove me wrong. I'm waiting. I'll let you go be at the fit for you, sharp. Thomas took ribs into Chelsea and admit it would not be the first time we get punished after they were beaten on penalties by MLS outfit Charlotte with Conor Gallagher's awful Panaka decisive. Okay, they're trying to bring you back into the team and you went and go and play Panaka. Okay, Lewandowski is unveiled by Barcelona in Florida. Albert Sambi Lokonga gives Mikel Arteta something to think about ahead of Alexander Zinchenko's arrival, and Rob Holding doesn't help his cause for a starting spot. It's not going to get. Okay, this will learn from Arsenal's 3-1 win over Orlando City. That's the one that they're discussing there. Okay. Let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys think that Raheem Sterling is the guy that would solve the problems for Chelsea? I'm just asking. Angry Spain captain Irene Paredes says there was a clear foul before England's equalizer in their dramatic Euro 2022 quarterfinal win, as she suggests referee Stephanie Frappart was biased towards the Lioness by refusing to review the incident. Now, this is Europe. For those of you who think that this type of complaints only happen in Africa, this is Europe. I just thought I should chip that one in. So, to wrap up the show, please don't forget, when you watch The Journey on our YouTube channel, do us a favor, help us, okay? It's a favor, it's not our right, it's just a privilege. Help us to drop a comment on it. That's a content that costs us a whole lot to create. So please, please help us to comment on it and help us to make it grow. You can help me share, and also it will encourage Coach Ayere as a coach, as a young coach who's trying to grow. We're hoping that these coaches will turn out to become good coaches tomorrow and will be of use to the system. So when we put the spotlight on them like this, they need some encouragement. Oluyem, to say Pepe not be a big of we. Did you just discover? Did I not tell you all of you this after he made the first kick of the ball? So Manchester United target Frenkie de Jong does not want to leave Barcelona, but if he does move on, the Netherlands midfielder 25 would rather join Bayern Munich or Chelsea than the Red Devils. So, guys, you should be ready for this one. Bros, according to Ikojo, he said, Bros, Raheem Sterling is a good support cast, but he is definitely not the one to solve any team's problem. He said, nobody has said this thing better than this, Bros. Nothing wrong with Raheem Sterling, no, and that's my own position too. There's nothing wrong with him. But you cannot build the hope of your team on him. He's a guy who helps others to get the job done. But now to bring him in as a guy who gets the job done and there is no other person who's the lead cast, okay now, I rest my case. Okay, I rest my case. I sleep with my belly flat on the ground, which I see. Jules Kounde is said to have a Chelsea medical in the next 48 hours after the Blues agreed a £55 million fee with Sevilla for the 23-year-old French defender. Sevilla have held on to this player for the past 4 seasons and insisted that they will sell him more than 50 million, and they've gotten that deal done. That's good. Precious Emenike said, but Pepe played well in France. And make it go back to France. Make it go back to France. So, just the border said, make it go back to France. The Blues have also made RB Leipzig 20-year-old Croatian defender Josko Gvardiol their number 1 target to replace Spain fullback Cesar Azpilicueta, 32, who is expected to join FC Barcelona. Nottingham Forest are considering a move for Watford 24-year-old Nigerian forward Emmanuel Dennis, who is valued at £25 million. Manchester United remain interested in Ajax 22-year-old Brazil winger Antony, despite having a £51 million bid rejected. Ajax say they want £75 million. Okay, Manchester United should pay that money and get the player in. They are doing well right now. Yomi T says Sterling has given us a new dimension in attack because we can be slow at times. Attacking teams who set up to defend. So Sterling helps me taking up defender. We need a proper goal poacher. Thank you very much. Steve Oko said from the signing so far, can you suggest the top 4 possibilities? Whoa, that's hard. But I know that Man City will win the league. The way Man United are playing right now, they look like the team that will come second in the league, and this is ridiculous. This is unlike me speaking upside down right now, but they look like a team that will come second. Arsenal does look like a team that will come third. They will still have problem third, and then the 4th is between Liverpool and Chelsea. But Tottenham Hotspur, I didn't worry about them before, but when I see the training, the training that they put in, it does look like they would also give everybody a run for their money. So, first pick is Man City to win the league title. Let's wait a few days before the season starts. I'll definitely give you my top 4 before the season starts. Okay, Udolph, said, boss, that Sterling in City you saw was as a result of Pep. But now the Sterling you will see is the one with yeah, okay. Yeah, really evil. So I'm judging Sterling on one thing. When I watch Sterling play in the English national team, and I feel like, okay, it's different. And if the team is going to go play at Chelsea, resembles the English national team more than it resembles the Man City team. So I'm not really excited. And I'm going with Akoji on this one. It's a support cast. It's not really the, oh, yes, we've gotten him. Even with Gabriel Jesus at Arsenal, he will score goals, but I still think we need a better striker who is a proven goal scorer. But I'm going to just give him the benefit of the doubt because he's actually a number 9 who came to Man City where the coach decides that I need midfielders more than striker. So let him have the chance to prove himself for 1 season as a number 9. But I still think that we need a guy whose job is just to score goal. Please don't mention Eddie Nketiah. That's for Carabao Cup. But we'll see. Let me not be too hasty with my decision on some of these players right now. Real Madrid do have plans to bring 37-year-old Portugal. Real Madrid do not have plans to bring 37-year-old Portugal forward Cristiano Ronaldo, who is reported to want to leave Manchester United back to the club. So forget about it. Leicester City have rejected £50 million bid from Monaco for Boubakary Soumare because they want to recoup more than the £23 million they spent on the 23-year-old French midfielder last summer. Okay. The Foxes have to sell players before they can buy. So may consider offers for England midfielder James Maddison, 25, Nigerian forward Kelechi Iheanacho, 25, and Belgian fullback Timothy Castagne, 26. If these players are not good, who are you going to sign as better than them? Barcelona have identified Tottenham's Sergio Reguilon, 25, as an alternative left-back target if they cannot agree a deal with Chelsea for fellow Spaniard Marcos Alonso. Please go for Reguilon. Reguilon is a better player. Don't go and buy this 31-year-old player. I'm not saying he's not good, but I don't think you need him. Brighton are considering a loan move for Arsenal's 22-year-old Portuguese left-back Nuno Tavares. Please come and take him. as they seek potential replacement for Manchester City target and Spain defender Marco Cucurella, who's 23. Nottingham Forest have offered free agent Lingard a contract worth £200,000 a week as they look to best West Ham to the signature of the 29-year-old England attacker. Brentford have held talks with 32-year-old English centre-back Ben Mee, okay, who is a free agent after his contract with Burnley ran out. West Ham and Crystal Palace have approached Burnley about their 22-year-old English midfielder Dwight McNeil. Newcastle have made a bid of about £18 million for Leeds United 25-year-old English winger Jack Harrison. West Ham, Everton, Napoli, and Sevilla are considering a move for Belgian winger Adnan Zai, 27, who is a free agent after leaving Real Sociedad at the end of last season, according to AS in Spanish media. Okay, England midfielder Kevin Phillips, 26, says there was never a chance of him joining Manchester United because of his loyalty to former club Leeds United, who he left this summer to join Manchester City. Manchester United, now don't finish. Nobody like on again. Frenkie de Jong, I don't want to come. This one, I don't want to come. Who wants to play for Man United? Well, thank you very much, everyone, for making today's show a beautiful one, a lovely one. We have one more day of the week to go, and that's tomorrow, Friday. Whatever comes up with my decision to go to Port Harcourt, maybe next week, I'll let you guys know. But until then, do us the favor, subscribing to our YouTube channel, but beyond that, also watch The Journey with Coach Ayere episode 1, and then please drop a comment. Engage in the comment section. Thank you very much, and God bless you all. My name is Edafe Matthew. You love to come in your local sports. It's been a wonderful time. Like I always say, keep a smile on your face and be the very, very best version of who you are created to be. But don't be part of the problem. Be the solution. If you can't be the solution, give support to those who are working hard to be the solution. Have yourself a wonderful day. Bye-bye.